guys shut that door when you come in. Oh, we got players too. Okay, we'll do this like tournament, like postseason. We'll open statement by coach, and then we'll take questions for the players, and then any other questions for coach.
First of all, I want to say, thank you all for being here. Obviously, we all are dealing with some very tough times right now with COVID, and I'm just so proud of how our team has faced adversity, having been shut down, and unfortunately, some of the guys have been ill because of COVID. And health is always the most important thing when just playing the game of basketball. So, with that, we went out and we competed. Because the guys are passionate about playing against their opponents, and going out there and representing this fine institution as being representing that gold blue, that block in. And these two guys, along with their teammates, I said it earlier to our media people, I'm always in the trenches with this group, and I'm so damn proud of how they approached these unfortunate circumstances, trusting me, trusting the staff, trusting the medical. But then also coming out with passion and fight.
Okay, we have a mic right here. If you have a question, just say a little bit, Libby.
Hey, Juwan, good to see you're well. I guess could you explain, Hunter and Brandon's absence from the game cleared things up since they were on the bench?
Well, basically, I would say this is that those two guys haven't had much practice time at all, being out with COVID, and unfortunately, Brandon actually caught it before Hunter did, and actually he's feeling some symptoms, and very challenging for him. It took some time, and everyone has different immune systems. And I'm not medical, I'm not going to explain or break down everything about it, but fortunately enough, it was just great to see him, in flesh and there to support his teammates. Hunter, he's one of the guys that caught a little bit later than Brandon, and another one that didn't get a chance to really practice. And fortunate enough, medical cleared and said that they're better health-wise, and I didn't feel comfortable with putting them out in the game with no practice time, because all that's going to do is put them in a tough situation where they can possibly, and thank God it didn't, but you never know how that situation will end up. But overall, they're here to support their brothers, and it was great just to see that the support was on all levels.
Questions for the
So
players?
you made the decision to keep them out? You jumped in with them?
All right, sure. If we can get the players out, we want. We'll come back to coach.
DeVante, was a pretty exciting matchup to watch. You and Trent go at each other defensively. Wound up, you score 17, he scores 18. Talk about the struggle back and forth.
Hats off to Trent. He's a real good player. Coming in, I know I got a task card. I watched a lot of film on him, and he's a very good player. But coming in, I just wanted to do my job. Just contain him. Just do it for my brothers. I know he got past me, but my brother's gonna help me. But obviously, he got the best. They won. So back to the drawing board.
All right.
DeVante, when we had a chance to talk to Coach Howard before the game, he said that some of the practicing the last couple of weeks was the last week rather, was non-traditional without having 5-on-5 and things like that. So can you just kind of describe what it felt like from a preparation standpoint in terms of how confident you feel going into a normal game versus maybe what you guys felt like coming in tonight without having a traditional week of practice?
But we confident regardless, because we believe in our coaching staff. We believe in Juwan Howard. He believes in us. So we're gonna be confident regardless of what we're doing. It was kind of different, not being able to go 5-on-5 like the usual practice, but we still brought energy. They brought energy. It's the main thing for us, just coming in and playing hard.
DeVante right here. You guys cut it to 1, I think, with 7 minutes left. Did you feel like you guys just ran out of gas, or what kind of went wrong last time? 7 minutes.
I thought we just made a couple mistakes, and they converted on it. Early in the first half, they weren't making as many threes. So in the second half, they came, hit a lot of threes, and it kind of hurt us. But that's part of the game. This is a learning curve for us, so we're gonna go back to the drawing board and just fix it next game.
And then Moussa, I guess, could you describe what it was like trying to guard Kofi, and then the job you think that Jason Jaren did also stepping in and trying to guard him?
Well, he's big. it is challenging, but I'm a basketball player at the end of the day. I just try to compete every day, and I love those type of matchup. That's what I'm looking for, and makes me better. So, yeah. But for my teammates, they did a great job, man. Jace, Jaren, hats off to them, man. They gave everything they had, and that's what we want. And it was great, man. I was just feeding off their energy. I swear, man. I was in foul trouble early in the game, and man, they were just going crazy, man. And I was so excited for them.
Any other media for our Michigan media questions?
For DeVante, the energy you guys played with tonight was extremely high. I guess, what was it that captivated the group? Did it feel like it was, you against the world kind of thing tonight? And how do you transfer that to future games?
We always feel like everybody against us. We talk about it every day. It's just us. We coming in believing in ourselves. We don't care what nobody else say. We don't care what the outside world say. We coming in knowing that we got enough. That's been the main thing for us, knowing that what we got in that locker room, that's more than enough. So we come in just putting a lot of energy, a lot of effort. And that's all we can ask from this group.
In the middle?
Hey, Juwan, multiple times you saw your team
We'll
fall
finish the
down.
players first. Can we do, any other questions for players? Yeah.
DeVante or Moussa, either one of you, in the past, when teams have gone on big runs, you guys haven't had much of an answer tonight. Until the very end, it seemed like you guys always had an answer for most of the game. What was different tonight for you guys?
Can you ask it again, please?
Yeah, in the past, a lot of teams, when they've gone on a big run, you guys haven't had much of an answer tonight. Until the very end, you did. You guys always had your own run. What was different tonight for you guys?
I think Juwan, Coach Juwan, my apologies. He told us something great. He told us just to breathe, take that one deep breath, and stay calm. I think we did that tonight. Obviously we didn't get the job done, but I'm so proud of these guys, man. They fought to the last end, every single one of them, like from top to bottom, like. And that's what we want from this group. Obviously, we didn't get the outcome we wanted, but I know going further in the season, like the confidence is just going up. So I can't wait for the next game.
Any other questions for the players? Okay, Coach Howard, questions for Coach?
You guys go ahead and get yours. Great job. Great job. Yeah. And you can just tell that relationship we have. You said Juwan Howard, so it's like Juwan. I mean, that's the relationship. It's like your brother, or my uncle, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to call me coach.
Juwan, you guys only had 5 assists on the night. Was that product of the Illinois defense, something they did, or is it you guys maybe not finding open guys?
Well, we did a really good job of being able to get some good shots. Some of the shots did not fall. And with that, we also was able to make shots off the play individually. Like the young man just left earlier, DeVante, was able to make plays and then make baskets, shots at the basket or getting fouled, or we had other guys attacking the basket, getting fouled. But overall, man, it doesn't have anything to do with that.
Juwan, I know the outcome didn't go your way, but it looked like, undermanned and a bit undersized. You guys fought like hell for 40 minutes. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yes, I do. I started thinking about, like, you know what? Jace, let me borrow that jersey because I have one more year left on eligibility. Because I'm looking down at the bench and, seeing that, Moussa in foul trouble in the first half. And Jaren Foles is, having practice and, he's, down with COVID and came in and competing and giving everything he can. And then Jace out there battling, and T. Will in foul trouble. I started thinking like, wow, we have many guys left. But that's the type of, things that sometimes you deal with adversity, but you figure it out. And he touched on it earlier, speaking of DeVante, you can learn from this, and I think we learned a lot about who we are. We got some guys that are competitors. And I feel like I know you back there. That's why I was like, you said I was like, because we always on Zoom together.
Hey, Juwan, so you spoke about how hard the team played. They played hard each possession. Will you chalk this up as a really good teaching tool for the team going forward?
I mean, not just this game, because, people didn't probably expect us to come out and compete, but we prepare and practice every time, no matter who our opponent is and no matter who's there in the gym available to go. But overall, whether you win games or lose games, there's always good teaching moments. And so we're going to go back and I'm going to look at some film tonight, tomorrow, all day and dive into, so what are those areas of how we can get better. I'm just so, I just love, what they say this is a job. It's not a job. It's not a job to me, man. I love what I do. I hope you guys love what you do too. And it's pretty rare.
Thank you, right.
Hey, Juwan, when your team made its run in the second half and got close, it looked like a lot of that came from some transition baskets, and it seemed like that coincided with a point where the guards were really getting into Illinois defensively, and the bench was encouraging that. Were you pleased with how the guards forced some turnovers there and then got up the court quickly to get some easy baskets?
Yes, I am very pleased with our activity, being dialed into the scouting report, practicing both days that we had, with the limited bodies that we did have, talking about it on film, as we're sitting down in the film sessions, and then going over again today in shoot around, just to see like guys are up and active and not allowing teams just to come down and run their sets and not feel like we're not giving pressure defense. And that's where I see growth in the group. We really did a good job with that area.
Yep. So obviously today we saw a lot more zone than usual. Can you talk about your game plan to guard Kofi and how you feel you were successful on defense?
Actually, we only had like, I can count maybe 4 to 5 possessions where we guarded them in the zone, and every time that we did go zone, they scored. So I had to come out of that zone and had to play a man to man. This Kofi, man, he is like big fella say he's big and he's good. He's not just big; he's a talent, and he's worked on his game. He does a really good job of finishing in the paint. It's tough when you have a young man who's giving up 50 to 70 pounds, and he's giving everything he can, and then you also bring in 2 other young men, and Jason's giving up 100 plus pounds. With Coffee, he's big, and our guys are competing, they fighting. Coffee has done a really good job of becoming a really good finisher on that low block. And everything that he catches in the paint, he's going to make you work. If he doesn't make the shot, then he's really good at his second jump and getting an offensive rebound, going back up with it.
Right.
Juwan, Jace, we haven't seen him much in games, but this is now 2 games in a row where he looked very comfortable out there and making, a lot of smart, tough plays on both ends. I guess, can you speak to him just stepping in there without much game experience?
Yeah, Jace is proven, and he's proven to show that to the coach and his teammates that he's dependable. And you look at the box score, and I'm like, wow, Jace has a plus minus, he's a 10. And his teammates, unfortunately, they had minus, and 1 0. But, it just goes to show you that young man he's crying out, letting me and the staff know that he deserves to have more minutes. Because, some people will say, well, you expect for a young man because he's the coach's son. That's always been the cliche, coach's son, they should know how to play. But it's not always the case. He has his own path, and he's always been a football, basketball kind of guy. But he's always, shown that he's always down and going to be the ultimate teammate. And you can trust that whatever he's going to give you, he's going to give it to the team. And that has been shown these last 2 games. Now I got to worry about his mom possibly saying, hey, she might need to play my son more. I'm just joking. She might not say that.
Yeah, Juwan, I know Johns and Dickinson were both out tonight, but can you clarify, were you able to have any semblance of normal practice leading up to the game through this week? And if so, with that in mind, how did you go about installing the game plan that was relatively effective for most of that game tonight?
Well, it was hard. I guess you have to figure it out as you go. And been a part of situations before in the NBA level where we only had 8 guys available to go in the game, and sometimes we only have 8 or 7 guys. You end up playing your best game because guys are so dialed in, knowing that we got to do it for each other. And that's the type of mindset it's been during the times when we, all been facing this for, last year. Like, let's take last year, for example. We had a shutdown where we were out for like 14 plus days and didn't have any practice. And then our first game, I've only had a few days to prepare, like 4 days to prepare, 3 or 4 days to prepare for Wisconsin. We learning as we go. And this time around, whoever we had, we just say, hey, we can get them better, and we got to get them prepared.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you. You guys stay safe.
Move on to players on deck here. Okay, we've got the questions for the Illinois players.